Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Revelation chapter 19, verse 4 through 6. The 24 elders and the 4 beasts fell down and worshipped Elohim that sat on the throne, saying, Amen, Hallelujah. And the voice came out of the throne, saying, Praise our Elohim, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great. And I heard, as it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thunderings, saying, Hallelujah, for the Adonai omnipotent reigns.
Shabbat Shalom. Our selection for today is Sing Hallelujah.
The oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things, have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as become saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth, therefore let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in Lithonia, Georgia. Today we're going to go over a few things about agreeing with the adversary. Now, when Yahshua tells us to agree with our adversary, he's not telling us to agree with evil. He's attempting to get us to acknowledge our transgressions while we have the opportunity. Once it gets to a certain level or past a certain point, we lose the opportunity to repent and in turn to get a lighter sentence of judgment. When we examine Yahshua's statement or his example, it assumes that we are actually the ones who are in the wrong. Let's begin today's sermon in Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, and we're going to start that at verse 21.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 21. You've heard that it was said by them of old time, you shall not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
Now, one of the things you have to look at in how Yahshua does what he does, he didn't say, it's written in the law. But that's exactly where this is coming from. But when you consider that every 7 years they were supposed to go over the law, that these children are supposed to hear all of these things come from their parents. They're supposed to hear these over and over. So he didn't refer to the book itself. He says, you have heard that it was said by them of old time. So this is something that you should have been accustomed to hearing over and over and over again, that it was said by them of old time, you shall not kill. So he doesn't even go to the point of it's his law. It should have been said so many times to you, over and over within your life, that you don't automatically attribute it to what's written in the book. I mean, when you consider how a child learns his or her first language, they didn't learn it from a book. You learn your second language from a book. You don't learn your first from a book. Your first language comes from repeating the things that you heard your folks say. So he's going deep for a reason. You have heard them say of an old time. The first things that you heard, that you learned, did not come out of a book. They came out of somebody's mouth. This is why it is very important who you place your people around. We don't understand that casual conversation is learning. It is how you learned everything you started with. It was where you got your base from. You learn how to talk by listening to other people. You learn what a ball was listening to other people. You learn what pain was listening to other people. You watched your family. You learned how to react to pain. All of that was given to you before you ever had a book in your hand. And then we think we can just listen and be amongst adversarial situations and think that they're not going to affect you. You're going back to your very first way of learning. Go ahead.
Verse 22. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Now, you can be angry with your brother, being that you learn from the things that are around you. You can be angry with your brother because somebody who you are cool with is angry with your brother. Now, here's the problem. Maybe that person has a reason to be angry with that brother. What they got to do with you? Now, guess what? You have now taken on somebody else's cause, and now you in danger of judgment. But why you think they told you in the first place? Go ahead.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Reka, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, you fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother has aught against you.
Now, you have to pay attention to this example. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar and you remember that your brother has aught against you, if you remember that your brother has aught against you, that means you are remembering that you have done something against your brother. That's what's happening right there. Okay? You are remembering that. Go ahead.
Leave therefore your gift before the altar and go your way. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift.
Right. So your gift is not accepted because of the aught that you have against your brother, and you have not cleared that up. This does not assume that your brother is in the wrong. This assumes you in the wrong. Your brother doing something against you don't stop your gift from being accepted. It's what you've done to your brother that causes your gift to not be accepted. If that's the case, none of our gifts would be accepted. If somebody can do something to us, and now our gift ain't accepted because they did something to us. No. This assumes you're in the wrong. And when you're in the wrong, it is your duty to go and clear that up. The responsibility lies upon you. Not upon the one who was done wrong, but the one who did the doing. So we need to be careful how we read that. Did you finish that?
Verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, while you are in the way with him. Lest at any time the adversary deliver you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and you be cast into prison.
Why would the judge deliver you to the officer? Because you were wrong. You knew you were wrong before the court proceeding started. When you go to court, they have this thing where they give you an opportunity to go outside of the court in a little room They put the two of you and a mediator. If you can work it out between the two parties, you don't have to go to court. Y'all can agree in that room. This is what Yahshua said. Agree with your adversary quickly while you're in the way. You are now presented face to face with the individual who you have done wrong. Do you then let your pride keep barking back at the individual? Because now you got those feelings? Or you say, you know what I did was not right. What I did was out of line, such and such. You were right, I was wrong. Now, y'all can take care of that in that room. Once they bring you out of that room and say, well, y'all able to reach an agreement between the two parties, and they say no, court begins. Now, you have now lost any opportunity to negotiate. All that's gone. Because whatever the judge say at this point, you gonna serve. Whatever the judge deem upon you, you gonna pay. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, you shall by no means come out thence till you have paid the uttermost farthing.
You are not going to wiggle out of this at all. But we have to make sure that we don't mistake that for agreeing with evil. See, if you just look at that on the surface, agree with your adversary, now it look like we're just supposed to agree with everybody. That's not what Yahshua is talking about. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7, and we're going to start that at verse 1.
When Yahweh your Elohim shall bring you into the land, whether you go to possess it, and have cast out many nations before you, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. And when Yahweh your El shall deliver them before you, you shall smite them, and utterly destroy them. You shall make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Right. Herein lies our adversaries, because they are adversarial unto Yahweh. He didn't tell us to go in there and agree with them. And Yahshua and Yahweh are on one accord. They're not saying something different. Yahshua is giving you an opportunity of repentance in something that you have done wrong. These individuals, these nations have done so wrong for so long, they have now lost the opportunity of any repentance. Now the only thing that's coming toward them is judgment. Because at this point, they had the opportunity to speak to a mediator. They did not. The judge has said what the sentence is. And now the judge is making you carry out the sentence. Go ahead.
Neither shall you make marriages with them. Your daughter you shall not give unto his son, nor his daughter shall you take unto your son. For they will turn away your son from following me, that they may serve other gods.
Now, and people don't understand that this happens like in bits and pieces. So a person will marry someone of another nation and say, you see, I'm still keeping the culture. Give them a year and a half. Now they done start merging parts of the individual who they have married culture into Yahweh's culture. Give them 4 more years after that. Now they have made their own culture to the point where now you're ashamed of bits and pieces of Yahweh's culture. We try to make it so that anybody from any walk of life, if they want to come in and get baptized and walk, we open a lane for them to do that. But then there's certain lanes I'm not going to open up. There was at one point where we were requested to do a baptism kind of secretly for a person of another nation. Wasn't going to do that. We're not taking that route. If there is any kind of shame about being a part of Yahweh, keep that shame and keep it. We're not going to facilitate that. I may make it comfortable for a person of another nation, but I'm not going to tell the rest of Israel to go home while we baptize somebody else secretly. That's not going to happen. That ain't never happened, and it ain't never going to happen. But what you see is bits and pieces of things are being made to lessen the effect because of the other person's culture. Moshe had to deal with it. He married a foreign woman. What happened? When it got time for the baptism, the circumcision, they had a problem. And what? They was arguing. She circumcised the kids and threw the foreskin at his feet and said, "You are a bloody husband unto me." They had been fighting over this circumcision for a while. Why? Because it wasn't her culture. We don't think about that. What we think about, look how pretty he is. Look how pretty she is. Oh my good, they so fine. All right. Sooner or later, that culture gonna come into play. And what you gonna do? What you gonna do? See, it's one thing when it's you and that individual. All right. But what happened when you bring a kid into this? So now here come the war. Here's the real war. Because the real war is, what is the child going to be? When the Israelitish woman son blasphemed against Yahweh, where do you think he learned that from? Learned that from the daddy that the mama was married to. Right. So what you put yourself around affects how you learn. Yahweh is telling her, I'm telling you now, don't make no covenants with these people. And this ain't got nothing to do with color, because as we being people of color went amongst Canaan land, Canaan is the son of Ham. Ham means burnt black. All these people black. This ain't got nothing to do with color. These was other black people. He said, look, don't agree with these. That look, I'm telling you, y'all these kind, they those kind. I'm telling you now. Go ahead.
So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. Verse 5. But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire.
Not only do you not agree with them, but knock down their stuff. Because see, you're going to be emboldened to partake in that stuff that you see. What you have to think about, go back to when they invaded who's that? The one they claim had weapons of mass destruction, but they didn't find none. When they went in there, he had images of himself everywhere. What was that for? Worship. So that the people would worship him. He had images of him doing this, images of him doing that. It was also, whether you know it or not, you are beginning to have some kind of worship of these images that you are seeing. Yahweh said, tear it all down. Not only don't go in there and make no agreements with them, tear every bit of it down. And we don't consider, as you are around other people, and they have all their little false God and images all over the place, you are beholding every last one of them. And you know what's happening? It's getting less of a problem to you. Now you are agreeing, well, I don't really worship the other God, but I don't see a problem with it. Right. Because you've been around those people and they done had their images hanging up. And you have grown sympathetic to the images that you shouldn't have never had around you in the first place. But you have grown sympathetic because you've been in their midst for so long. Go ahead.
For you are an holy people unto Yahweh Elohim, and Yahweh Elohim has chosen you to be a special people unto himself, above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people.
Understand, he pulled Israel, out of what, 70 souls? He said, I'm starting me my own family. Go ahead.
But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, as Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that Yahweh your Elohim, he is El, the faithful El, which keeps covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
Right. Yahweh is a covenant Elohim. A lot of times you hear people bragging about, what they have done in the word and blah, 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 and how long they've been in the word. Yeah. Show me your covenants and show me your works. I don't want to hear nothing there. Yahweh is a covenant Elohim. People be running off at the mouth, but they can't keep not one covenant. He is a Elohim about covenants. And they just destroy their covenants, walk away. Soon as something goes a way they don't like it, boom, that covenant over, and they go and they make it another. But he's a covenant Elohim. Go ahead.
And repaid them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hates him. He will repay him to his face.
And people don't say that they hate Yahweh with their mouth. They say that they hate Yahweh with their actions. You can sing hallelujah to the top of your lung, but then your feet carry you somewhere else to go blaspheme his name. Go ahead.
And you shall therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command you this day to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if you hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, that Yahweh your Elohim shall keep unto you the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto your fathers. And he will love you and bless you and multiply you. He will also bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your corn and your wine and your oil, the increase of your kind and the flocks of your sheep in the land which he sware unto your fathers to give you. You shall be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you or among your cattle. And Yahweh will take away from you all sickness, and will put none of the ill diseases of Egypt, which you knoweth, upon you, but will lay them upon all them that hate you. And you shall consume all the people which Yahweh your Elohim shall deliver you.
Now, how is he going to be able to do that if you then mingle with the people? How is he going to do that if you then start agreeing with the people? Then you have now caused the judgment of Yahweh to back up. So that means the things that's supposed to happen that didn't happen, and now other things are taking place, that's on you. You the reason that's happening. This is why it's written, I've been made to serve you in your sins. Why? Because when you agree with them people, I couldn't do what I wanted to do with them people. When you stay in the presence of them people, then I couldn't do what I needed to do with them people. Oh, you're going to have to answer for that. You the reason I ain't destroyed them people. What you think Laban say? Oh, I got to keep you, Yaakov. I've learned that Yahweh has blessed me because you are here. So he did whatever foul thing he could do to keep Yaakov down. 7 years turning to 20. But you got to know when somebody's using you for your blessing. First of all, you got to be secure enough in yourself to know you got one. What you think because they got more money than you, that you ain't bringing the blessing? That's what you think? Then you don't know what blessing mean then. Go ahead, priest.
Your eyes shall have no pity upon them, neither shall you serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto you. If you shall say in your heart, these nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? You shall not be afraid of them, but shall well remember that Yahweh your Elohim did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt.
Right. Fear paralyzes you. This is why Yahweh say, when you get ready to go to a battle, find those who got fear and get rid of them. Fear paralyzes you. Fear makes you stand in the same place, everything going on around you, and you standing still. Why? That's what fear does. That's why he said, look here, before we go over there, find out who's scared. We'll deal with them when we get back. But they can't go with us. Because that fear is going, not only is it going to cause them a problem, somebody going to listen to them talk. And then that fear going to go from that person to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. Now you realize why you got a regiment on the left, a regiment on the right, and a regiment in the middle. But the regiment in the middle didn't move. What happened? Somebody had fear there and spread it amongst that entire regiment. Nobody in that section moved. Go ahead.
The great temptations which your eyes saw, and the signs and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby Yahweh your Elohim brought you out. So shall Yahweh your Elohim do unto all the people of whom you are afraid. Moreover, Yahweh your Elohim will send a hornet among them, until they that are left and hide themselves from you be destroyed.
And you have to remember the names of these nations. All right. In verse 1, it says, cast out many nations before you, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. Remember that. Go ahead.
You shall not be affrighted at them, for Yahweh your Elohim is among you, a mighty El and terrible. And Yahweh your El will put out those nations before you by little and little. You may not consume them at once, lest the beast of the field increase upon you. But Yahweh your Elohim shall deliver them unto you, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they be destroyed. And he shall deliver their kings into your hand, and you shall destroy their name from under heaven. There shall no man be able to stand before you until you have destroyed them. The graven images of their gods shall you burn with fire. You shall not desire the silver or gold that is on them.
Check that out. If they have a diamond encrusted cross, you supposed to set it on fire. But what we trying to do,
I'm trying to see how we can get those diamonds out of there. What if I put the fire on it and melt it, and then the gold, I can get that. How can we do that? Somebody bring me some fire. Let's see if we can get.
That's already been forged into an idol. Go ahead.
Nor take it unto you, lest you be snared therein. For it is an abomination to Yahweh your El. Neither shall you bring an abomination into your house, lest you be a cursed thing like it. But you shall utterly detest it, and you shall utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing.
Now, that's a cursed thing. What about people? Do you think that's different? Well, you have an object. I'm talking about an inanimate object. That object is cursed. That inanimate object that is cursed is now in your house. Now it cursed your house. A person walks around and moves in your house. This is a cursed individual. The still inanimate object cursed your house. There's a person moving around in your house. That's cursed. What do you think it's going to do? Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 16. That pencil ain't going nowhere. Somehow the curse spread throughout the whole house, but the pencil didn't move. Okay. First Kings chapter 16, and we're going to read verses 21 through 33.
Then were the people of Israel divided into 2 parts. Half of the people followed Tibni, the son of Ginath, to make him king, and half followed Amari.
Now, I need you to pay attention to the graphic here, because what a lot of times Yahweh sets forth some things that are even in our foundation that certain individuals ain't got no business being with one another. Because what they do is multiply evil when they are together. Okay? And you have to find out within your own life to know the kind of manner of individual who you are, and know that when you are around somebody who's multiplying evil in you. Meaning, you're able to operate one way. When you get with this individual, all of a sudden, it ain't just things are happening. You're doing those things. No. You got a bad attitude right there. Now, a lot of times, this is where this is where, if you listen to Mama and them, I always think it's somebody else. All right? But what happened is that person activates something that's already in you. You got to remove that activating. They call something active ingredient. All right? What does it do? It activates something else. See, if I have that one ingredient, it does this. But when I put the other ingredient in it, all of a sudden, it starts bubbling and a chemical reaction is happening in it. And it changes state. It was a powder. It starts shooting off and now it turns into a liquid that's moving and it's flammable. What happened? I added an active ingredient. Some of the individuals that we are around are active ingredients. We were okay by ourselves. We were okay with the other ingredient. But when we added this ingredient, something in us changed. You have to learn how to recognize that within yourself. And then stay away from that ingredient. It might be somebody you care about. It might be your own family. It might be your cousin who you look at as a brother. You're going to stay away from that individual. That's an active ingredient. As my folks would always say, you learn how to feed some people with a long handle spoon. See, the long handle spoon, yeah, there you go. No. Stay in row number 2. No, stay in row, no, this is a long spoon. You ain't got to come near me. There you go. There you go. Now take that, what you need, and call me if you need something else, but make sure you don't pass row number 2. All right. Love you like a play cousin. Yeah, stay over there. Stay over there. See, I don't need that active ingredient to get too close to me. Even in the same room, I can keep that active ingredient arm's length. Go ahead.
You got to think about what Yahweh knows about the active ingredients in the 12 tribes. Because he says stay within your tribes. Don't marry outside your tribes. Then he told Simeon and Levi, stay the hell away from each other.
Sure did.
So what happened to Simeon and Levi? Procreate.
Hey, bro, that's a scary thought. Just the two of them together cause hellfire and damnation. The two of them together cause, but we're going to read it. But what happened if you make one of them and then that person got Simeon and Levi inside of them? That means they gas and the matches. Go ahead, bro.
You got to think of a time. They don't do it anymore. There was a time when you had to take a blood test before you could do their ceremonial marriages. They don't do it anymore. And then we don't consider within ourselves that sickle cell is something that plagues us.
Right.
Do we consider, okay, I got the trait. Does this person have the trait?
Right.
What's going to activate that ingredient?
Right. We never consider any of those things whatsoever. We ain't trying to get no test when we, when we feel, when we feel the Joneses in our bones, we're not even trying to get no health test, much less no blood. We like, you know what, I'm in love, and they can't nobody change it. Good Lord. Let's go ahead and make this thing happen. 2 weeks later, go see the doctor. Right. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 22. But the people that followed Omri prevailed against the people that followed Tibni, the son of Ginath. So Tibni died, and Omri reigned. In the 31st year of Asa, king of Yehuda, began Omri to reign over Israel. 12 years. 6 years reigned he in Tirzah. And he bought the hill Samaria of Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and built on the hill, and called the name of the city which he built after the name of Shemer, owner of the hill, Samaria. But Amri wrought evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and did worse than all that were before him.
Now you're going to notice that the evil of each one of these kings grows, because as one you see you read this person wrought evil more than any of that were before him. All right, keep reading.
For he walked in all the way of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and in his sin wherewith he had made Israel to do sin, to provoke Yahweh Elohim of Israel to anger with their vanity.
All right, so he walked in all of the things that he learned from Jeroboam. So you're talking about being around something, allowing the things that you are around or that you have some kind of love for. See, sometimes we just like something, and that thing is amongst us, and it affects how we move. Go ahead.
Now the rest of the acts of Amri which he did, and his might that he showed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Amri slept with his fathers, and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son reigned in his stead.
All right, so Omri has already picked up the sins of Jeroboam. Now Omri has a son, Ahab. Go ahead.
And in the 38th year of Asa, king of Yehuda, began Ahab the son of Omri to reign over Israel.
Right, so because you got Yehuda and Israel separate. You have separate nations. So you got kings coming from both sides. You have kings of Judah and you have kings of Israel. They are completely separate because the nations are separate. Go ahead.
And Ahab the son of Omri reigned over Israel and Samaria 22 years. And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of Yahweh above all that were before him.
Stop. His daddy did more evil than anybody who was before him. His son then did more evil than the daddy. They keep doing evil more than the person who was before them, because they not only learn the evil that's there, they have base evil. They have the base evil of what they grew up with and have learned. And then they add to that as time goes on. So this is why the next generation gets worse than the generation before. So you got to be careful what you're putting in your base. Because what are they going to do when you ain't around? Folks will tell you in a minute,
My kid is a nice kid.
everybody kid nice while they daddy watching. My kids are amazing while I'm watching.
Hello, Father. How art thou? And I was just sitting here reading the psalm.
Yeah. Let me bend two corners. What y'all doing?
Oh, I was trying to choke the little boy. I didn't know you were still here.
Okay. Right. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Zidonians.
Now see, he already has evil on top of evil. Now he has made a covenant with something that is hella evil. So what you think is about to happen? See, this is them making affinity with some things. We're going to make agreements. We're going to gather and like the things that should be unlikable. Go ahead.
And went and served Baal and worshipped him. And he reared up an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he had built in Samaria. And Ahab made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke Yahweh Elohim of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him.
They just keep making the evil, setting another high level of evil. Go ahead.
That was it, verse 33.
That was it. Let's go to our 1 Kings chapter 21. So he has already done more evil than anybody before him. Now, when you, sometimes there are parts that you may read about what Yahweh does, and you will say, why did he have mercy on this individual? I mean, he comes from evil. His father was evil. He then multiplied the evil of his father, then married an evil woman. But then there are parts where you see Yahweh have mercy on this man. Why? Yahweh also considers the base. The base was so evil. Yahweh looked and said, wait a minute, y'all just don't know, man. He has had evil around him all his life. 1 Kings chapter 21, let's start at verse 1.
And it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab king of Samaria. And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, give me your vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs.
In other words, he's coveting. He's coveting the man's land because he wants to expand his property. Go ahead.
Because it is near unto my house.
There you go.
And I'll give you for it a better vineyard than it. Or, if it seem good to you, I'll give you the worth of it in money. And Naboth said to Ahab, Yahweh forbid it me, that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto you.
When a land means something to you, understand, it's not just my land I would be selling to you. I would be selling to you my family's land. Do you understand that this land was handed down from my father, and then from his father, and then from his father? Do you understand that I'm breaking a family lineage by selling it to you just because you want to expand something? No, it means more than just me. I'm supposed to hand this down to my seed. I'm going to give it to you. Go ahead.
And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the words which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him.
He is pouting because a man will not give him his stuff. I need for you to see your own people. We will pout because somebody won't give us what belongs to them. So he's man pouting right now. Go ahead.
For he had said, I'll not give you the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed, and turned away his face, and would eat no bread.
Look at that. He got a thumb in his mouth. Go ahead.
But Jezebel his wife came to him, and said unto him, why is your spirit so sad, that you eat no bread?
Now, this is why you have to be careful who you enter into a covenant with. This, then, depending on the kind of woman that he's married to, this begins and stops here. If the woman is a decent woman, she then chastises him or tries to talk to him about his covetousness and tries to console him without doing evil. This is what happened when you just want a woman. When you just want a wife. Now, what you're looking for is the wife. You need the woman. What is that? The one that he got for you. Because see, the one that he got for you not going to come in and just agree with you all the time. Now, she may have to learn how to disagree with you. Because you don't disagree rolling your neck and snapping, you know what I'm saying? First of all, let me tell you something. That ain't how you do that. That's not how you do that. That ain't how you do that. And I don't want nobody to be saying,
See, as Priest Esaac said, that Yahweh has put me here to make disagreement with you.
like, Priest Esaac didn't say that. Priest Esaac didn't say that.
So that's why we in here and why I'm telling you right now. Okay?
No. No. There's a way that's supposed to be done. You can disagree in a matter so smooth that nobody is up in arms. And rolling your eyes and neck ain't it. Go ahead.
And he said unto her, because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and he said unto him, give me your vineyard for money, or else, if it please you, I will give you another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give you my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, do you now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise, and eat bread, and let your heart be merry. I'll give you the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite.
So first she questioned his manhood. She questioned his position. Are you not the king? Now that's how you really get a brother involved. See, when you got the wrong woman and she, oh, what, you a punk? You scared? You chicken, ain't you? I should have gone and got some Polynesian sauce for this chicken I got in front of me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that brother pumped up. What you talking about? I ain't chicken. Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
You know, and then another conversation should have came right behind that. I'll give you the vineyard of Naboth the Israelite. How you gonna do that?
Right. Right. He didn't even ask. Go ahead.
So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal.
Today that would be an email. Leave your computer open. Send them emails in your name.
Thus says my husband.
What? Go ahead.
And sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling with Naboth. And she wrote in the letters, saying, Proclaim a fast and set Naboth on high among the people, and set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him, saying,
You see how evil people know where other evil people at?
Look, get you 2 men to be like,
What?
get you 2 evil brothers and have them lie.
Now, where did they find the lying crew at? Like they knew where they had 2 liars who would lie with affirmation. Like they just know that it's true. They gonna lie so good that people gonna believe them. How they know that they just so happen to be 2 and they know where they at? She said, look, go just find you 2 of them. Go ahead.
You did blaspheme Elohim and the king, and then carry him out and stone him that he may die. The men of his city, even the elders and the nobles who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had sent on to them, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent on to them. They proclaimed a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people. And there came in 2 men, children of Belial, and sat before him. And the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blaspheme Elohim and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with stones that he died.
All right. Message number 1, 13. And they came into verse 12. They proclaimed a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. You feel real good when the evil invite you to a party. What you know not is it might be your last party. You thought you was invited to the meal. No, you was invited for the meal. You are, my friend, the meal. They will be dining on you. First message, you don't go to everything you invited to. You going just because they invited you? See, this meant one thing's different in our time and in their time. We don't have to go to those events. Think about them people. Remember that it was a big to-do for a while where I think it's about 4 or 5 girls went on a trip, went overseas or whatever.
Mexico?
Yeah. Beat one of them to death and came. Hey, man. They had indignation with that girl from Jump Street. She don't know she going on the trip for her death.
The sad thing is she paid for all of them. Looking for friendship.
Hey, she got something. She got something. Go ahead.
But you know, people will leave the house of righteousness to go party somewhere else. As if the house of righteousness, Yahweh give us enough holy days and enough things to do. that we don't have to say we deprived of anything and envy the wicked.
Yeah, but with Yahweh, you're gonna have to party in a certain kind of way. See, when they go amongst their friends, they can party in debauchery. See, they go amongst their friends. It's a pig there with an apple in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's a three-legged hooker in there. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Party favors all out on the thing.
all kind of party favors. You know what I'm saying? Right. See, Yahweh not gonna let you're not gonna party that way with Yahweh. See, that's what the thing is. See, Yahweh provides for those who goes through their atonement. They're able to deal with some things. Then He provides a wonderful party atmosphere for us. We have an amazing time when we get together. I don't envy the wicked at all. But I don't desire party favors, a pig with an apple in his mouth, and a three-legged hooker. All right? Read, priest.
Then they sent to Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and is dead. And it came to pass, when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, Arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he refused to give you for money, for Naboth is not alive, but dead. And it came to pass, when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab rose up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite.
You see that? There's no question. Went right down to possess, just like his woman told him. Pick. He supposed to be the leader, but he getting led. Wherever she throw the coin, that's where he going. I said it before and I said it again. Henpeck brothers don't last here. If you're a coin chaser, I'm telling you, you just go ahead and keep on going. I'm trying to tell you. And every now and then, we're going to throw out some coin and see if you chase it. Then we know, yeah, he's going to be out of here in about a month. Go ahead, bro.
And the word of Yahweh came to Eliah the Tishbite.
Hey, man, tell that brother, stand up, man. Stand up. Go over there by that door and stand up. You. Go by that door and stand up. Stand right there. You just stand guard right there. Just stand on guard right there. Go ahead.
And the word of Yahweh came to Eliah the Tishbite, saying, Arise, go down to meet Ahab king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whether he's gone down to possess it. And you shall speak unto him, saying, Thus says Yahweh, have you killed and also taken possession? And you shall speak unto him, saying, Thus says Yahweh, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, shall dogs lick your blood, even yours.
Now you see how Yahweh don't necessarily stop everything. But then he makes sure he take care of that business. Go ahead.
You know, there's so much wrongs going on. So he said it's the inheritance of his family, right?
Uh-huh.
So she done told you to go down there and take. So what happened when his family members come for this land? You gonna kill all them too?
Hey man, no, you know what? They're gonna exercise their squatters' rights. When they come, they're gonna have Ahab name all over everything.
You see that? I've been had this. Look at this. You see that Ahab Boulevard right there? Yeah, you standing on Ahab Boulevard right now. Right. In Jezebel Street right there.
Go ahead.
And Ahab said to Eliah, Have you found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I found you.
Uh-huh.
Because you have sold yourself to work evil in the sight of Yahweh.
Right. Folk know what side they on. They try to act like they don't know. They know. When the servant of Yahweh is your enemy, I'm sorry, you are evil. You can say whatever you want to say. You can phrase it however you want to phrase it. When the servant of the Most High is your enemy, you are evil. And your wife too. Go ahead.
Behold, I'll bring evil upon you, and will take away your posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pissed against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in his shroud.
Now consider why this judgment is happening. You tried to steal a man's inheritance. He's saying, I'm going to cut off your posterity, meaning all of your males, so you will not have inheritance. You tried to steal his, I, my friend, am taking yours. But Yahweh goes on a whole nother level. I'm not taking your inheritance. I'm taking your inheritance. You understand? No. There will be none left to inherit it. And then it will flow to somebody else, because there will be none of you left to get it. So I'm going to do exactly what you did, but slower. Go ahead.
I will make your house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha the son of Ahiah, for the provocation wherewith you have provoked me to anger and made Israel to sin. And of Jezebel also spake Yahweh, saying, the dogs shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city the dogs shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of Yahweh, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up.
His wife stirred him up. She's able to stir him up and get him to do even more evil than was what are common to his own thought process. So when Yahweh said, don't make any covenants with these individuals, I'm telling you about making covenants with these individuals, you're going to have some problems. Look at the level of how things progress because of this wife who stirs him up. Go ahead.
And he did very abominably in following idols, according to all things as did the Amorites, whom Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel.
So at this point, there's nothing that sounds good about this cat. All right? Keep reading.
And it came to pass, when Ahab heard those words, that he rent his clothes, and put sackcloth upon his flesh, and fasted, and lay in sackcloth, and went softly.
Now, you realize now when this happens, this is his moment of setting himself apart. You notice he didn't go ask his wife to do that with him. Now she went and pushed forward to do all these things. At this point, he making a stand by himself. Go ahead.
And the word of Yahweh came to Eliah the Tishbite, saying, see you how Ahab humbles himself before me?
Why does Yahweh even consider that? You see how much evil this man has done just because he done walked softly? Look at all the evil he's done, Yahweh. Yeah, but he come from evil. His daddy was evil. His mama was evil. His wife was evil. This is humbling. Don't tell me my Elohim ain't merciful. Don't tell me my Elohim ain't merciful. Why does he even see this man? Go ahead.
Because he humbles himself before me, I'll not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring the evil upon his house.
And check this out. He has no choice but to execute the judgment because the deed has been done. He can't undo the deed. But because of how he humbled himself, he pressed the pause button. He pressed pause on judgment. It matters how you deal with something. You can either deal with something with dignity and honor, or you can lash out and act a fool. Dealing with it, and he was wrong, but he dealt with wrong in a certain way that he doesn't even have to see the judgment. We have to learn how even to disagree. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 7. If only we learn how to disagree.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 1.
You at that door for a reason. When that big dude get back, get his vest and put it on. Proverbs chapter 7, we're going to read verse 1 through 12. Get him that vest. Right there. Take that vest off and get to that little man right there by that door.
My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of your eye. Bind them upon your fingers, write them upon the table of your heart. Say unto wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your kinswoman, that they may keep you from the strange woman, from the stranger which flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I look through my casement, and behold, among the simple ones I discern among the youths a young man void of understanding, passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart.
If she got on a whore's uniform, she a whore. If I see a man with coveralls and a fire engine, am I wrong to assume that he might be a fireman? If I see a man with a bulletproof vest and a gun, am I wrong that I might assume that he's an officer of the law? If I see a woman with a skirt that shows her taint, am I wrong to assume that she might be a whore? Okay. Go ahead, bro.
She is loud and stubborn.
Loud and stubborn.
Her feet abide not in her
Now
house.
she want to run her house and your house too. Go ahead.
Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner.
I want you to read the note in the next graphic for me.
Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 24. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house.
Don't matter how good the house look. Don't matter how many rooms it's got. How much yelling happened in those rooms? All right. Well, I'm ready to downgrade to a tiny house with peace. Give me the shed and put a window in it. As long as I got peace, give me the shed. I'm out here. I'll stay in the she shed. Just leave me the hell alone. Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 18. Second Chronicles chapter 18, we're going to start at verse 1, and we're going to read that through chapter 19 and verse 3.
Now Jehoshaphat had riches and honor in abundance, and joined affinity with Ahab. And after certain years, he went down to Ahab in Samaria.
Now, he joined affinity with Ahab. He has made a friendship with this man. He is now agreeing with the things of Ahab. Now, we know what manner of man Ahab is. Now, we've read some things about this individual. Why are you agreeing with him? See, now we have to ask ourselves some questions. Why are you agreeing? And we don't consider what this means. See, this is a heavy statement in verse 1. But you don't really get how heavy the statement is. All right? He joined affinity with Ahab. Why? See, we'll take certain things out of context when it says, make you friends of the unrighteous mammon. That when you fall, in life, that they may receive you. We take that a little bit too far. No. When you join affinity, you are now agreeing with his actions. No. I may make a friend with the unrighteous mammon, but I'm not doing none of your stuff. I'm not hanging at your gatherings. We're not that kind of friend. See, what I may do is I may leave some things open so that if something happens, I know I can deal with Johnny down the street and get such and such. Now, Johnny ain't no righteous dude. But if I fall on hard times, I made enough good situations with Johnny that I could go and deal with that situation until I get back on my feet. That don't mean I'm worshiping Johnny God, and I'm not going to none of his shindigs where, he got that pig and that three-legged whore. I'm not going there. Don't get it twisted. Go ahead.
And Ahab killed sheep and oxen for him in abundance, and for the people that he had with him, and persuaded him to go up with him to Ramoth Gilead.
He has persuaded him to go to war. He is now taking on the issue that this man has. He is now taking on that issue as if the issue is his. He joined affinity. Go ahead.
And Ahab, king of Israel, said unto Jehoshaphat, king of Yehuda, will you go with me to Ramoth Gilead? And he answered, I am as you are, and my people as your people, and will be with you in the war.
Uh-huh.
And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, inquire, I pray you, at the word of Yahweh today. Therefore the king of Israel gathered together of prophets 400 men.
Now, here's the problem. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, inquire, I pray, at the word of Yahweh. They ain't got nobody who deal with Yahweh. Now, you got prophets of something else. You ain't got no prophets of Yahweh. He can't inquire Yahweh. See, now, that because you have joined affinity with somebody else, now you starting to mix some things. And now you're mixing spirits, you're mixing angels. You got you some serious problems there, and you don't know it. Now you asking the angels on Yehuda's side to deal with the angels who on Israel's side. They helping them do evil. Go ahead.
And said unto them, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, go up, for Elohim will deliver into the king's hands. But Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of Yahweh besides, that we might inquire of him?
Right. I know you got prophets of the priests of the least. I would like to have some prophets of my Elohim. What is? Go ahead.
And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, by whom we may inquire of Yahweh, but I hate him.
You see that? Once again, when the servant of Yahweh is hated by you, you are evil. Let it not, make you feel some kind of way that, you really okay. No, you ain't. You in a bad place. Go ahead.
For he never prophesied good unto me.
He never says anything good about me.
Because ain't nothing good about you. If he said good about you, he'd be lying. Go ahead.
But always evil. The same as Micaiah, the son of Imlah. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so.
You see that? Let not the king say so. You see what happened when we make affinity with somebody? Even when they say evil things, we turn around and try to lessen the evil of their statement. The person just told you that they hate the servant of Yahweh. Why is your conversation even going forward? If we're going to inquire of Yahweh whether we go or we are going to war, you have your own prophets who agree with anything that you say. See, this is what makes us feel like we're accepted. We go out on Facebook and Insta stupid and all of this, right? And we put out these statements, and then people agree with us, and then that make us feel like we're accepted. Right when he said the dumbness that came out of his mouth, let not the king say so. At this point, he was supposed to be unfriended. But it's going to keep going. Go ahead.
And the king of Israel called for one of his officers and said, fetch quickly Micaiah the son of Imlah. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, king of Yehuda, sat either of them on his throne, clothed in their robes, And they sat in a void place at the entering in of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah, the son of Chenaanah, had made him horns of iron, and said, Thus says Yahweh, with these you shall push Syria until they be consumed. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, Go up to Ramoth Gilead, and prosper.
All the prophets said it. So he put forth a statement, and everybody agreed with it. Okay, go ahead.
For Yahweh shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And the messenger that went to call Micaiah spake to him, saying, Behold, the words of the prophets declare good to the king with one assent. Let your word, therefore, I pray you, be like one of theirs, and speak you good.
So they're giving him the lie to tell.
I'm telling you, but look here, man. Everybody, 400 people done already agreed. We done put forth an evil statement, and 400 people have liked it. Look, right here. Let me show you my page. 400 people have liked this. Now all we need is 401. Guess who the one is? So long as you press like on here, then we going forward. All right? So I'm just telling you what it is.
Right. They're giving him the lie to tell. Go ahead.
And Micaiah said, As Yahweh lives, even what my Elohim says, that will I speak.
See, when you're going to deal with what Yahweh directs you, you're not going to have as many friends as other people. Understand that? He got hundreds over here. All of them say the same thing. He got prophets, they gonna say exactly what he want them to say. But when you gonna speak what Yahweh wants you to speak, your friends list ain't gonna be that large. You're gonna lose those friends. And it's funny how liars always talk about the truth, like they really can hear it. Go ahead.
And when he was come to the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And he said, Go you up and prosper. They shall be delivered into your hand. And the king said unto him, How many times shall I adjure you that you say nothing but the truth to me in the name of Yahweh?
Right. So he must have said it sarcastically. Go ahead.
Then he said, I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd. And Yahweh said, These have no master. Let them return, therefore, every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell you that he would not prophesy good unto me, but evil?
Right. So he must be evil because he's saying evil of me. No, you are evil. That's why he's saying evil concerning you. Go ahead.
Again he said, Therefore hear the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. And Yahweh said, Who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying, After this manner, another saying, After that manner. Then there came out a spirit, and stood before Yahweh, and said, I will entice him. And Yahweh said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I'll go out, and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
Right. So when you consider why or how a liar will actually speak about the truth, they have been entertained by a lying spirit. And the lying spirit has made them believe that what he is speaking is true. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said, You shall entice him, and you shall also prevail. Go out, and do even so.
The lying spirit shall be prosperous. Go ahead.
Now therefore, behold, Yahweh has put a lying spirit in the mouth of these your prophets, and Yahweh had spoken evil against you.
Right. So what happened? Because you hear it more than once, you believe that it has some validity. That lying spirit helped them tell that lie for you. So that you would feel confident and go get yourself yoked. Go ahead.
Then Zedekiah the son of Chenaanah came near and smote Micaiah upon the cheek.
This is what the truth gets you. Slapped in the mouth. This is what the truth gets you. Go ahead.
And said, Which way went the spirit of Yahweh from me to speak unto you? And Micaiah said, Behold, You shall see on that day when you shall go into an inner chamber to hide yourself. Then the king of Israel said, Take you Micaiah and carry him back to Amon, the governor of the city, and to Joash, the king's son, and say, Thus says the king, put this fellow in the prison, and feed him with bread of affliction and with water of affliction until I return in peace.
Yeah, put him in prison. Now, sometimes when you think you are being punished, Yahweh has actually separated you for protection. Go ahead.
And Micaiah said, If you certainly return in peace, then have not Yahweh spoken by me. And he said, Hearken, all you people. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat the king of Yehudah went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I'll disguise myself and will go to the battle, but put you on your robes. So the king of Israel disguised himself, and they went to the battle. Now the king of Syria had commanded the captains of the chariots that were with him, saying, Fight you not with small or great, save only with the king of Israel.
Now, there's certain things that you should have a problem with. Now, the king of Israel asked the king of, Yehudah to go with him, right? Verse 29, the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and will go to the battle, but put you on your robe. Hey, bruh, hold on, bruh. Hey, hold on, bruh. Hey, bruh. Hey, bruh, hold on. So when they look out and they see a king, because bottom line, you know what I'm saying, you kill a king, the battle, hey, you won the war. So you gonna disguise yourself, but I'm gonna look like a king. So in other words, everybody shoot at me. You got to understand when somebody who's close to you is really not close to you. You got to understand when somebody is putting their arm around you and whispering in your ear that they are not your friend. He says, I'm going to disguise myself. But make sure you put on all your, wear all your badges of honor. You put all your wings on your jacket. Make sure they know they're killing a high-ranking official when they shoot at you. But I'm going to disguise myself. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, It is the king of Israel. Therefore they compassed about him to fight. But Jehoshaphat cried out, and Yahweh helped him.
You see where they went? Did you see where they went? Now this friend who you have made affinity with is setting you up to take his fall. But you think, that's my friend. Go ahead.
And Elohim moved them to depart from him.
Now, but you see the difference though? He got real help from Yahweh. See, if you take care of your business, even when somebody's setting you up, Yahweh will let that setup go but oh so far. And they gonna fall in the hole that they dug for you. Go ahead.
For it came to pass that, when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, they turned back again from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture, and smote the king of Israel between the joints of his harness. Therefore he said to his chariot man, Turn your hand, that you may carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day, howbeit the king of Israel stayed himself up in his chariot against the Syrians until the even. And about the time of the sun going down, he died. And Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehudah, returned to his house in peace to Jerusalem.
All right, so, and Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehudah, has returned to his house in peace. Go ahead.
And Jehu, the son of Hanani, the seer, went out to meet him, and said to King Jehoshaphat,
Listen.
Should you help the ungodly?
Should you help the ungodly? Now check this out. Yahweh done protected him in a battle that he never should have been in. But he went with his friend. See? So you got to be careful what you... I try to explain to people all that stuff that they do on the internet. You do really know that those are not friends. People say, I got 10,000 friends. You know those not friends, right? You are aware of that, right? Now the seer is the prophet. The prophet is taking care of his business. Why have you made friends with these people? How is it you were okay? Go ahead.
You know, you got to think about even this friend thing, right? Your aim is to get likes. So that means you will continue to not say or put out something that's, you know, within your heart is going to bring dislikes.
Exactly. Which is exactly the opposite of how a prophet works. He says whatever Yahweh pushes him to say. And 9 times out of 10, it's an unlockable statement. Yahweh don't push nobody to say, oh, great and glorious he, we are more than conquerors. That ain't what he sent you to say. Go down there and tell them I'm about to whoop their tail. Thus say Yahweh, y'all about to get it. Why do you want to send somebody to go say something nice for? So a man of Elohim works exactly opposite of the ways of man. He ain't putting out nothing for likes. He not putting no videos out so he can get more views. Every time somebody offer me that program, man, we got this program where you can get 100,000 views on your videos just like that. No. I'm fine with the organic views. I don't want that. Let all them do that. I don't play those kind of games. But you know, Jake is programmable like that. All we need to know is that a lot of other people watch the video. Now we want to watch it. That's how you trick Jake. No. I'm fine. I'm fine. I only want what Yahweh sent me. All that other stuff, I don't want it. Lucifer will bring many people. I don't want them. I wish I had a Lucifer scan at the door. No, you can't come in here. Your daddy, I know your daddy. Turn around and go back out. Go ahead.
Should you help the ungodly and love them that hate Yahweh?
Should you, oh my God. Listen, should you help the ungodly? You understand that every last one of those prophets who agreed. See, we don't even consider when you click on something, you are justifying the wicked by saying that this wicked statement is good. You have now helped the ungodly. Now he's asking him, but look at how long it takes for Yahweh to send somebody. He done been through all this battle. He about to die. He cry out, Yahweh help him. He don't die. Now he's explaining to him after it's all said and done. Why you help them people? Explain to me why you was with them people again. You do know that was me that kept you while you was amongst them evil people, right? You do know you should have been dealt with. Yahweh waits till it's over. Come on, let's have a conversation. Go ahead.
Therefore is anger upon you from before Yahweh, pardon me. Nevertheless, there are good things found in you.
Nevertheless, there are good things found in you, but you ticked me off. Because you made me to serve you in your sin. Why was you there? Now I got to send my angel to constantly protect you while you amongst all these demons? Yeah, we're going to have to reconcile that. You're going to have to atone for that. Nevertheless, I got you. You still my man. But you're going to answer for that. You had no business being there. Go ahead.
In that you have taken away the groves out of the land and has prepared your heart to seek Elohim.
Right. You were never like them people. So why were you there? Right. He hard, but he fair. See, we agree with people for special treatment. We believe that if we agree with these people, things will go easier in life for us. But it's called a gift, is what it's called. I want you to read B in that the statement there in Exodus 23, 7 and 8. Read that from me.
Keep you far from a false matter,
Uh-huh.
and the innocent and righteous slay you not.
So once you perceive that you are standing in the midst of a false matter, you are supposed to separate yourself. Go ahead.
For I will not justify the wicked.
Now, what does he mean, I will not justify the wicked? By helping you, I am having to justify the wicked because you are there. Now, I got to find a way to get you out of there without helping these people. Go ahead.
And you shall take no gift, for the gift blinds the wise.
Right. Acceptance is the gift that we have. Acceptance. You be my friend. You say nice things about me. I receive that gift. So I'll stay amongst you, even though I know you're wicked. Go ahead.
And perverse the words of the righteous.
All right. Let's go to Genesis chapter 49. Genesis chapter 49, and I want to read verses 1 through 7.
Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear, you sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, you're my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity.
Excellency of dignity.
And the excellency of power.
Excellency of power. Go ahead.
Unstable as water.
Do you have the guts to say that about your firstborn? To some people,
Oh no, my baby is precious. My baby is amazing. I thought my baby was wrong once, but I was mistaken. My baby has never done wrong. My baby is wonderful. Matter of fact, I don't even think any of you qualify to hold my baby.
right. Go ahead.
You shall not excel, because you wenteth up to your father's bed, then defileth you it, he went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations.
He knows enough about his sons that said these two don't need to be nowhere near each other. This is fire and gasoline. Fire may be good, gasoline may be good. Together, they are quite dangerous. Go ahead.
O my soul, come not you into their secret, onto their assembly. Mine honor, be not you united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
Right. So then he put Simeon in the uttermost part, away from everybody, pretty much, and then scatters Levi all over because he has to do the jobs of the various temples and whatnot. He's scattered. Make sure that you don't have large groups of them by each other. Because if Simeon and Levi get together, there's death somewhere in the midst. Now, we want to claim that we everybody want to claim what tribe they are and blah, 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 blah. You got some of us that when we get together, people just happen to die. Them your folks. You know, it reminds me of this thing, you know, go to the next graphic because, you know, ammonia is a good cleaner and Clorox is a good cleaner. But ammonia and Clorox don't make a better cleaner. They make death. A lot of times we think that if we just put two things that are strong together, we make something stronger. No, you make die. That's what you make. You're going out of here. He said, these two You got two active ingredients. Don't mix these two. Whatever you do, don't mix these two. Then you'll look at these people with their fake tribal chart. What did they put Simeon and Levi?
Right next to Egypt.
See, this way happened when your little fake tribal chart, you didn't even read long enough to make up your dumb chart. Your little stupid chart don't even follow what's written in the book. You put gas and fire in the same place. But didn't that explode? I can tell you that ain't gas and fire in it. Not only did you lie, but you didn't even formulate your lie in a way that it would even make any sense. See, that's what happened when folk try to come up with their little things, and then they get you paying attention to all these other things. You so busy watching them march down the street. And all the chanting, oh, we love that. You know, we don't went back to our little boot camp. Oh, we in boot camp again. Everywhere we go. Oh, we love it. Yeah. Scripturally, your doctrine sucks. I don't give a damn how many fools you can get to march down the street. Your doctrine sucks. Okay? And I ain't got to go nowhere but Genesis. I'm in the first book, and your doctrine, I already picked apart your tribal chart. I don't give a damn you get 12,000 people to march down the street. It's 12,000 unwashed individuals. Because the doctrine sucks. It's not about any personal thing that I have against or do not like. I don't care what. Your doctrine sucks. It does not go along with what's written in here. Not to mention the outfit is a mix between a Roman soldier and wait a minute, are we Israelites? Are we Roman soldiers? You look like a centurion. That is not. Who got the capes on? Man, let's go to Genesis 34. And then with all this tribal thing, now everybody intermarrying in the tribes. Wait a minute. If you know all these people are supposed to be, you know what the tribes are. Mm-hmm. And Yahweh said that the tribes are supposed to stay with themselves. Why are you marrying outside your tribe? Well, this man right here, this brother is Benjamin. And this sister right here is from, she might be like, an Asian or something like that. But he want to marry an Asian. So then he puts her in a tribe. Here's the problem. You still married outside your tribe by your own twisted tribal chart. So you wrong going left and you wrong going right. But this is how we boost up our numbers. We're going to say the things that people like instead of the things that Yahweh leads us to say and instead of the things that we find written in his book. Go ahead, brother. Genesis 34, and we're going to start at verse 1.
And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land.
All right, so this is the reason Yahweh said Simeon and Levi don't need to be together. Go ahead.
And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her.
Now, Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. She wanted to see how the harlots lived. I want to see the nations. I want to go out and see the world. We don't understand. It's a different world when you go see the world. Go ahead.
And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. And he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel.
Now, when you go out in the world, you have to deal with how the world do things. It's culture. Now he said he clave unto Dinah. Said he loved her, but he raped her first and loved her second. That's not how we operate. We see now we got a problem. But she went amongst them. Okay, go ahead.
And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it. And the men were grieved, and they were very angry, because he had wrought folly in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. And Hamor communed with them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem longs for your daughter. I pray you, give her him to wife. And make you marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And you shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade you therein, and get you possessions therein.
Now, Yahweh would eventually give us the decree to not do everything that they are trying to get him to do. Make you marriages with us. No. Go ahead.
And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, Let me find grace in your eyes, and what you shall say unto me I will give. Ask me neither so much dowry and gift, and I'll give according as you shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, Because he had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said unto them, We cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. But in this will we consent unto you, if you will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised, then will we deliver our daughters unto you, and we'll take your daughters unto us, and we'll dwell with you, and we'll become one people. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son.
Now, do you notice how the brothers speak about the sister? They say our daughter. Oh no, we're dealing with some different kind of stuff right here. You don't understand what's happening. The brother has taken the stead of the father when it comes down to their sister. He said our daughter. He ain't talking about our sister. No. Now you gonna deal with us at this point. Now you lost the opportunity to deal with my daddy. When you deal with my daddy, then you come with a dowry. Then the dowry goes to the father. No. You didn't come with a dowry. You're not dealing with you ain't dealing with daddy now. No, you got to deal with his knucklehead sons. Because you did your negotiation wrong. No. What you did, you went and stuck your finger in the pie, and then you trying to negotiate with me for the price, the price of the pie. But you already stuck your finger in it. We gonna show you how we negotiate. See, my daddy might talk to you, but I'm finna show you how his sons operate. Go ahead.
And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, These men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city, and every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males.
Slew all the males. Now, one man has raped their sister. They have killed all the males. Go ahead.
And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out.
Then killed the daddy and the son. Go ahead.
The sons of Jacob came upon the slain, and spoiled the city, because they had defiled their sister.
The whole city. Go ahead.
They took their sheep, and their oxen, and their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field.
Simeon and Levi ain't nothing to play with. They done killed the whole city, all these males, and now they gathering up spoil. Go ahead.
You know, my brother, when you go back to chapter 49 and verse 6, when it says dig down a wall, this is what they're talking about. That breach was broken.
Oh man, hey, I'm talking about they went deep down into this wall. They didn't just go and get the man responsible. They got the man that made the man, and every other man. Go ahead.
And all their wealth, and all their little ones, and their wives took they captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house.
Wait. Bro, they got captives. Go ahead.
That's why he didn't say broke the wall down. They dug the wall down.
Yeah. To this point, the daddy know these two don't have no business being together. So wherever they are, if look, we have a family reunion. Don't sit them two next to each other. Go ahead.
And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, you have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me, and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. And they said, should he deal with our sister as with a harlot?
Should he deal with our sister as with a harlot? She went out to see how the other nations lived. And apparently the other nations live as harlots. He then treated her like a harlot. And this is what came after all of that. So you find there's some serious disagreement in culture when you get down to that. But you also find that sometimes Yahweh is making some things happen as a prophetic thing. Let's go to Exodus chapter 23. Exodus 23, and let's start that at verse 23.
For mine angel shall go before you, and bring you in unto the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I'll cut them off.
Now, when you go back to some of these other writings that were before, and you look and you say, you know, man, this brother went and murdered these people. Yahweh was going to murder them people anyway. Go ahead.
You know, when you think about that, even what Jacob said, I'm going to stink before them. That means they're going to have some indignation. And Yahweh building up that indignation. So when it's time, you don't feel no kind of way. Go ahead and take care of the business.
Right. See, sometimes, Yahweh playing the long game. We playing the short game for right now. Because that's all we know. Go ahead.
And the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, the Jebusites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I'll cut them off. You shall not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but you shall utterly overthrow them and quite break down their images. And you shall serve Yahweh your Elohim, and he shall bless your bread and your water, and I'll take sickness away from the midst of you. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in your land. The number of your days I will fulfill. I will send my fear before you, and will destroy all the people to whom you shall come. And I'll make all your enemies turn their backs onto you. And I'll send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before you.
Right. Yahweh was already practicing with them what he was going to do later on. Go ahead.
I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against you. By little and little I will drive them out from before you, until you be increased and inherit the land. And I'll set your bonds from the Red Sea even onto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert onto the river. For I'll deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto you.
All right. And we understand that Simeon and Levi slaughtered the people of the land, but they were actually performing the act that Yahweh would perform in the future. We also find the same situation with Moshe. He killed an Egyptian. Yahweh would eventually slay many Egyptians and use Moshe to bring about the plagues that would harm them. Yahweh has a tendency to make his servants live out the actions that he himself will perform. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 4. So when we doing our or setting our likes and our dislikes and all of these things, what we don't consider is where Yahweh stands in the scenario. See, as it was said to the king of Yehuda, should you agree with those that hate Yahweh? People are not just going to come out and tell you that they hate Yahweh. You're going to have to use some common sense to figure out who hate Yahweh. And once you figure that out, it's all about who hates the order of Yahweh. Once you figure that out, why are you agreeing with them? And we'll say, well, I wasn't agreeing with them per se. No. When the cell phone companies say they got a new plan, a new way that they doing business, you don't have to go down to Verizon and sign no paper. All you got to do is just keep doing what you're doing. You agree, right? You agree by keeping the phone. All you got to do is keep doing what you're normally doing, and you have agreed. Ezekiel chapter 4, let's start at verse 1.
You also, son of man, take you a tile, and lay it before you, and portray upon it the city, even Jerusalem, and lay siege against it, and build a fort against it, and cast a mount against it. Set the camp also against it, and set battering rams against it round about. Moreover, take you unto you an iron pan, and set it for a wall of iron between you and the city, and set your face against it, and it shall be besieged, and you shall lay siege against it. This shall be a sign to the house of Israel. Lie you also upon your left side, and lay the lawlessness of the house of Israel upon it, according to the number of the days that you shall lie upon it, you shall bear their lawlessness.
So you have one situation where Yahweh sends the prophets to go and proclaim things unto Israel. But in this situation, he's having him to completely act out what's going to happen. He's making him live through it. Display it unto Israel. I want them to see. Go ahead.
For I have laid upon you the years of their lawlessness, according to the number of the days, 390 days. So shall you bear the lawlessness of the house of Israel. And when you have accomplished them, lie again on your right side, and you shall bear the lawlessness of the house of Yehuda 40 days. I have appointed you each day for a year.
I have appointed you each day for a year. So exactly what I'm going to put them through, I need you to display it. Now, this doesn't give you a room to ad-lib and change. Because the things that you encounter at this point are directly going to be what Israel and Yehuda has to go through. So when people then say that they might dislike this, are they disliking this man who's laying on the ground doing some strange things? Or are they really saying and displaying how they dislike Yahweh? Go ahead.
Therefore you shall set your face toward the siege of Jerusalem, and your arm shall be uncovered, and you shall prophesy against it. And, behold, I'll lay bands upon you, and you shall not turn you from one side to another till you have ended the days of your siege. Take you also unto you wheat, and barley, and beans, and lentils, and millet,
So far, sound good.
and fitches, and put them in one vessel, and make you bread thereof,
Make you bread.
according to the number of the days that you shall lie upon your side. 390 days shall you eat thereof.
Sound like some good seasoned bread. Go ahead.
And your meat which you shall eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shall you eat it. You shall drink also water by measure, the sixth part of an hin. From time to time shall you drink. And you shall eat it as barley cakes, and you shall bake it with dung that comes out of man in their sight.
Wait a minute, Yahweh. Wait a minute. This is what I get for being chosen? I'm chosen for this? I'm chosen to make doodoo cakes? I don't think this is, I don't feel blessed. No, but I need you to show my people what they're going to go through. Can we take a picture? Can I draw something? Go ahead.
That's sad, because right now the stuff we eat, we don't know what the heck it is.
We probably eating the same doodoo cake right now. Matter of fact, we probably pay extra for the do. They put extra dew in it. That's some of that dew twice. Go ahead, bro.
And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
Defiled bread. He said, so they're going to eat defiled bread, so I need you to eat defiled bread in their presence. Go ahead.
Whither I will drive them. Then said I, Adonai Yahweh, behold, my soul has not been polluted. For from my youth upon even till now have I not eaten of that which dies of itself, or is torn in pieces. Neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth.
I have never eaten none of this stuff. And now you asking me to eat some dew twice? The dew? What? Oh, he's hurt. But you see, he walk in culture, and he automatically refers back to Yahweh's law. I've never done any of this. Go ahead.
Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given you cow's dung for man's dung.
Now you see, it really does help to protest unto Yahweh at some point, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm look here. I don't want to eat no dung. All right, let's just go ahead and put that out there. All right, but there's a big difference from what a cow ate grass. All right, so I'm telling you, you know, at best, you got some bad grass. All right. But what man ate, look at man, there are times that I done been in the bathroom by myself and I said, whoever did this is foul. I wanted to leave before I was done. I just gotta get out of here. Wait a minute, I'm still in here and I ain't finished. It's a big difference between what a man does and what a cow does. It's a big difference. Although I don't want down part of each one. I want to make sure Yahweh hear me. Please, Father. Whatever job you got for me, please don't let this be it. Go ahead.
And you shall prepare your bread therewith. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I'll break the staff of the bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight, and with care, and they shall drink water by measure, and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water, and be astonished one with another, and consume away for their lawlessness.
You know, there's certain things that when a prophecy is given, depending on where the people are at that particular time, that prophecy doesn't make any sense. You have to think about, here it is, we buy water. You have any idea how strange that might have sounded to our forefathers?
You know, you're going to drink water by measure.
What are you talking about?
You're gonna have, you know, you're going to have to pay for your water.
Who buys water? That is a strange concept if you back up 30, 40 years Nope, it was just unheard of. This water came here in a truck. Then people bag up and pull out bottles, and we had to pay these people to get them bottles of water. Our forefathers would be utterly amazed. You mean y'all buy water? Y'all know that stuff in the ground, right?
We might get dirty.
Right. Let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Ezekiel 37. You had something, brother?
Yeah, even when you turn the pipe on, you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is you just don't know what you're paying for when you turn on the pipe.
And you can at least feel better. But you don't know if it came out the pipe either when the truck bring it.
Mm-hmm.
They just tell you it's spring. It could be Faucet Springs.
Welcome to Faucet Springs. Wait a minute. That's
Strange name for a spring. Yeah. It's because it ain't there. Ezekiel 37, and we're going to read verses 15 through 28.
The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Moreover, you son of man, take you one stick, and write upon it for Yehuda, and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it for Yosef, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions, and join them one to another into one stick.
See, Yahweh is the one that's going to unite the kingdom of Israel. We don't have to go agreeing with adversarial things or adversarial people trying to join Israel together. See, when Jehoshaphat wanted to agree with Ahab, he's going to try to unite Judah and Israel. You don't unite by agreeing with evil. When Yahweh puts these two sticks together, he's not agreeing with anybody's evil. Not evil on the left, not evil on the right. What he's going to do is do away with the evil on both sides so that he can rightfully and spiritually unite what's left over. Go ahead.
And they shall become one in your hand. And when the children of your people shall speak unto you, saying, Will you not show us what you mean by these? Say unto them, Thus says the Adonai Yahweh, Behold, I will take the stick of Yosef, which is in the hand of Ephraim.
Now you notice now he's making him do these things and display this. Once again, Yahweh has a tendency to make them live out the things that he wants to show Israel. So sometimes people are looking at something and they don't really understand what they're looking at because they've limited it to the individuals whom they are perceiving. They don't understand that Yahweh is doing something far greater than what they can comprehend. This is why you got to be careful about what you let come out of your mouth. Go ahead.
And the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Yehuda, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereon you writeth shall be in your hand before their eyes. And say unto them, Thus says the Adonai Elohim, Behold, I'll take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land.
He's gonna, when we talk about the eventual part of spiritually tabernacling, understand what happened. Now we're talking about a united tabernacle here. And we have been individualized. We have been spread apart. Yahweh said, I'm going to take care of all that business. All these tribes don't get along. Yahweh said, when I take away the stoniness out of your heart, y'all going to be able to get along. Our problem is we keep trying to unite without dealing with the evil. We keep trying to agree without removing the evil. You can't agree with your friend when your friend is doing something evil. You have now justified wickedness. That's not how Yahweh gonna put these sticks together. That's why you can't put these sticks together on your own. Go ahead.
And I'll make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them all.
Uh-huh.
And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I'll save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned.
Right. I'm going to cause them to have a righteous atonement, and then they can tabernacle. Go ahead.
And will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I'll be their Elohim.
Uh-huh.
And Dawid, my servant, shall be king over them.
A king who has atoned for his sins, now he can tabernacle. If that atonement was not done for his sin, he would not be able to righteously tabernacle. Go ahead.
And they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant Dawid shall be their prince over them. Forever, pardon me. Moreover, I'll make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. And I'll place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I'll be their El, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, Yahweh, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore.
They will no longer be able to deny who Israel is. They will no longer be able to deny that Yahweh has called us as his people when he sets his tabernacle in the midst of the children of Israel. Nobody will be able to tell whatever lie that they tell it now. They won't be able to tell it. He's going to take away all the witnesses of their false lies. The whole world going to know then. So understand that there's tabernacling that we do on this level, but there's a much greater level of tabernacling to come if we do what we're supposed to do. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.